This morning, we were waiting to see if new elected Democrats step forward and call for President Biden to end his campaign. But there is another crucial group at play here, too. Anti-Trump Republicans. They've got a lot on the line. So how are they feeling in the days after the debate? CNN's Ellie Reeve went to find out.
This happy bar party is full of people who usually feel pretty bleak.
This country needs to wake up. There's a dangerous thing happening. It's called complacency.
They're fans of The Bulwark, a Never Trump media organization. Many are ex-Republicans who reject Donald Trump, a group that can feel so tiny that some got on airplanes to meet one another. The event was festive and just a few days before the presidential debate.
It's hard for me to wake up every morning and talk to my neighbors and know that they're supporting somebody that doesn't match any of their values.
Becky is a former Republican who flew in from South Dakota with her sister-in-law.
We're in a very red state, and I'm a very not red person, and it's tough to find a community there. We're married to Republican men.
Is your husband pro-Trump?
I think he's going to vote for Trump. I hope he doesn't vote for Trump, but it's an interesting house to live in.
We wanted to talk to these people because they represent an important part of President Biden's coalition. But after his struggle in the debate, we had to go back to them to see what had changed. Hofer was shocked and angry.
It was terrible. I'm completely disillusioned. They're both a joke. It felt like elder abuse. So yeah, I think he needs to be replaced. If for anything, just out of respect for his humanity.
Robin Hochland had flown from Salt Lake City to be among Never Trumpers before the debate.
I fled the district in North Georgia with Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was pretty abusive to people wearing masks during COVID, and I was a little traumatized by that.
And how would you describe your politics?
My politics were center-left. My husband was always Republican, and we got along fine for years, and then it seems everything is kind of broken. And we both now are registered Democrats in Utah, which is rare.
Are you worried about what might happen after the election?
Yes, very worried, very worried. I have 3 daughters. They all live in red states, and they're in reproductive age, which is in their 20s, and I really worry about their options.
When we spoke to Hochland afterward, she said she'd barely been able to sit through the debate.
Initial reaction was shock, and then just sadness. And then I think I moved into anger.
Do you think Joe Biden should be replaced?
It hurts me to say that, but yes. I don't think he's electable. I don't know how you dig out of this hole. He could do more events where he, looks better. He's looked better since then, and they can time it right. But everyone knows deep in their existence what they saw may happen again.
The pre-debate party in Denver was for a live podcast taping from The Bulwark, which was created by former Republican operatives. At the after-party, people told us that this was one of the few places where they could meet in real life people who didn't make them feel crazy.
I'm a relatively conservative Republican. It's almost, rather than being Republican and Democrat, it's become more autocracy versus democracy. Even though I would probably economically agree with more of the policies that a Trump administration would put in place versus a Biden administration, I can't support someone like Trump.
You feel safe here, and you feel like you can speak your mind, and people may disagree, but you can talk about it in a rational way.
But after the debate, Hochland felt more despair.
You feel like you're being condescended to. To be talked to from the Democratic Party, kind of like just get behind the candidate, was very frustrating and angering. So this is not about the Democrat or the Republican Party. They both put up candidates that are not electable for very different reasons. Trump is a criminal and many other issues. Biden is just aging, and there is no reason that people should not be concerned with what they see.
He's done a great job. He did a great job the last 4 years. Right now, if these are the 2 options that we have in November, I'll vote for Joe Biden's head in a jar before I'll vote for Donald Trump. I'm angry. And I'm angry to the point where If Joe Biden stays on the ticket and Donald Trump is still on the ticket, I'm fast tracking moving to Costa Rica. I had it as a 5-year plan to move to Costa Rica, and I'm going to try and fast track it. I do not want to be here before the Republicans, Trump's little trolls, start, reducing more or taking away more women's rights.
Wow, and Ellie Reeve was with me now. First of all, what a phenomenal idea to be at that party to begin with and then follow through. What do these people say they want to see now?
Well, they're devastated because they thought of Joe Biden as their imperfect but best vehicle to beat Trump, and now that's gone. So some had talked about maybe Vice President Harris, that she might not be popular enough to win, but the way one woman put it was that if we don't at least try, it's better to at least try and lose than to not try at all, which is what she thinks would be keeping Biden on the ticket. Others said maybe some kind of centrist governor, but they were really at a loss.
A lot of people now asking these questions. Ellie Reeve, thanks so much for this reporting this morning. Really appreciate it.